We all know you're terrible. Wendy.
I know.
Make me a perception check.
You got it. Any day of the week for you.
Don't butter me up. Just roll the dice.
That's what I use in order to delay. That's a nat 20.
Oh.
On your way back to Shallow Scale, it's a
Yeah.
couple days' trip from the village, and you're about to march through a wooded area coming back, which can be somewhat dangerous because you can't see past the treetops from the air, but you notice a considerable amount of movement in this wooded area that you guys are about to enter, and you see one or two of the smaller trees have been uprooted and knocked over in this area.
Oh, shit. That's...
And in the next 10 or 20 minutes, your companions will be marching up through this place. And it's high noon. It's the middle of the day right now.
I think I'm going to do some minor investigating on my own.
How so?
So you're saying this is happening... I saw the movement in the trees or near the trees?
You're looking down at this wooded area. You haven't seen any actual creatures, but you see some movement, and you realize the movement is the swaying of the trees themselves, and then you notice a couple of these trees have been uprooted and are laying on the ground.
Okay, I think I'm going to go investigate the area where they were uprooted from.
Are you going to land
To
on
see
the
if
ground?
Yeah, on the ground.
Okay.
And see if I spot anything, like, immediately near where they were uprooted, like prints or tracks or that sort of thing.
Okay, roll initiative.
Alright, you got it.
You want the rest of us to as well?
Yeah, but you guys are pretty far away still.
Just teleport.
Yeah, that's fine. Here's your stack of things.
Used
there.
to teleport.
Damn, that's...
Hey, I was rolling initiative there.
I was trying to move it off my table. Ugh.
Also, not really
Instead of rolling, I just make up numbers for you. How does that sound?
I'm gonna be honest. Being too curious for my own good was maybe a bad flaw to take as a scout.
Yeah.
So, Wendy, you touched down at this, I didn't mean to, like, rotate you too much. There we go.
Just a little rotation.
You touch down to investigate this downed tree, and no sooner do you do than you realize the motion you saw from the air are a pack of giant boars that looks like they have just they're gorging on a recent kill. That looks like to be a large creature, but so far unidentifiable.
Okay.
And they have no difficulty seeing you touch down on the ground.
Yeah. Let me move my character. Oh, I'm already where I should be. Okay.
Let's put Raazu down here on 11 then, so we don't have people overlapping. And also, Catman's not around, as far as you know.
He could be.
Everybody else is effectively surprised until Wendy's able to put the call out. But yeah, no, Wendy, these giant boars, something seems very off about them, but you have no idea what at first glance. What you do know at first glance is that they seem to be ready to charge you and add you to their meal.
Okay. Then I think what I'm going to do is get a closer look. Because I'm a monk and I might as well do my cool shit. Which is, I'm going to move on up and see what they're eating and what looks wrong about them.
So you're going to get close enough to be inside their threat range?
Mm-hmm.
Make a... You know, you don't need to make a check because you've actually encountered one of these creatures before in a certain form. It looks like they've gored a centaur and they have killed him and they are feasting on his entrails. It also looks as though several of these boars have been wounded in the hunt. You're not sure who initiated the festivities, but the centaur definitely got the ass end of things.
Okay. And so something seemed strange about the boars. Was it just that they were wounded?
No, you can definitely see where they've been wounded. Some of them have arrows poking out of their hides. One or two of them have slashes, but they have very thick skin. None of them are greatly wounded. They're not bloodied. But something about the way that they're behaving. Are you trained in animal handling?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait. Yes, I am.
If they
plus
weren't
6.
hostile and you had time to actually look one over, you might be able to get more information. But right now, they look like they're going to gore you.
All right, so now is the time to use my key to disengage
Right?
and fly the hell out of here.
Okay. And as you do, I mean, you hear the hoofbeats on the ground fiercely following you. And that's the first inclination the rest of you have as you guys are marching kind of west by northwest back towards Shallow Scale Lake. As you hear the sound of hoofbeats, and you see Windy flying at you with great speed. I'm going to give you guys 2 combat rounds before they catch up on you. And we'll just use this same battle area. So go ahead and form up how you want to be when things get started. You've got a couple of seconds for Windy to explain what's about to happen.
Mm-hmm. All right, so yeah, if in that case, if I'm going to be able to explain it to them, I'll land next to them, say, there's something odd about these boars. They've killed the centaur. Try to knock one of them unconscious so I can see what's up.
Okay.
Okay, so the 3 of you are going to kind of make a front line here
Well, no, I'm planning on abandoning them.
immediately.
Am I able to make a stealth check over here behind this tree?
Yeah, go ahead.
There you go.
What does that 3 turn into?
9.
A 9? Okay. Yeah, after a few more moments, these angry boars they're just going to tumble straight down this little cliff and charge at you. They look hungry and ferocious, but their initiative score sucks. So that's going to give us... Windy has the initiative.
Alright, I'm going to try to maybe split one of them off. So I'm going to head over here and fire a shot at this boar.
Okay.
This orc blinded.
This orc blinded?
Yeah, let me fix that to boar.
Right. This one already has an arrow poking out of him.
Oh.
You would presume from the centaur.
See if I can Robin Hood this bitch. Is a 20 gonna hit?
20 does hit.
That's going to do... Wait, I took a d6. I don't have a d6. I have a d8. I have a longbow, the strength of a man. 23 piercing damage.
23 piercing damage.
And I actually think I'm going to continue my attempt to kind of draw them away by using another key point to Step of the Wind over here. Maybe I can split them up.
Okay. That one's bloodied. Now that you've managed to stick an arrow deep into its hide, it's going to bring us to Raazu.
Raazu is going to step here and ready in action to swipe at one of the take an attack at one of the things as it charges. Actually, no. You know what? I'm going to dodge. Let's just keep it simple. I'm going to dodge here.
Okay, it's going to bring us to... Oh, Birdie's out putting out
Birdie's
fires.
here.
Birdie's here. Okay, Birdie, go ahead and place yourself on this map where you want to be. You can be hidden if you want, but make sure your stealth check's better than Destil's, because his was a little bit garbo.
Okay.
You've got giant wild boars charging at you.
Okay.
Surprise.
Surprise.
Not really.
No, you're not surprised. I fixed that.
Yeah. All right. So here
Okay,
is fine.
and it's your turn.
Is it my turn? Oh,
Yes.
okay. Well, then I will shoot this boar right here.
Which one?
This one. This first one.
Okay.
So that is a 17 plus 6, so 23.
That'll hit.
So that is 9 damage.
Did you roll your attack at disadvantage?
No.
You are in direct
Yeah, it's
sunlight.
daylight.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. We will. That is a 16.
Still hits.
Okay.
And how much damage was it?
5 plus 4, 9.
9 points. Okay, so 2 of the boars are bloody. The one that Wendy shot and the one that Birdie just shot. Adrex,
What's up?
it's your turn.
Is this one this one on this square or this square?
Kind of doesn't matter. We'll put him right here.
Kind of does for me.
Oh, well.
Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's hurl an axe at that one.
Okay.
Oh, that's too bad. That is a non-natural 20
Why are you rolling it? Oh, because of range?
range. Yeah,
Okay, yeah. That 20 will hit.
just a little too far. That's why I asked what square was
Rick
it.
was trying to be nice.
So 4, 6 plus 4 is 10, and
And
Man, look at that.
another 8. So 18 damage, and it needs to make a strength saving throw, please. 'cause
Doesn't
I'm-
because you've killed him.
Yay!
You roll your axe and it cleaves across its neck, opens it up, and it just tumbles down this short little cliff, collapses at the ground.
Free action, do a little dance.
That's not a free action. That uses movement. You've already used all your movement.
performance roll.
I know dancing uses movement because I've read the Tasha's Uncontrollable Dance. It's gonna bring us to red.
I'll ready an action to shoot the first boar that comes within 5 feet of Raazu or Adrex.
Okay, that's gonna probably happen right now. Let's get these out the way.
Tasha's righteous mosh pit.
Is that the group version of that spell?
Yeah.
Nice.
One of them does in fact come within range of Adrex.
All right. They'll hit an armor class of 11.
11 does not do it. Looks like the arrow struck the creature, but it's got this incredibly thick hide. Doesn't deal any damage. However, we'll do Raazu first, because I like her least.
Well, that's fair. Did you roll a disadvantage?
I did. So I've got
Okay.
a 15.
Not quite.
Not quite. And Adrex, I don't have to roll a
See, he does like
disadvantage.
you.
You should, but you don't have to.
Adrex, I have a 9
Misses.
and a 24.
Yeah. Those are wildly different numbers.
Take 13 points of slashing damage.
Oh,
And let's get a strength saving throw, please.
strength saving throw, huh? Do I know the DC?
No.
No, just tell me what you get.
I'm gonna re-roll that with the blip.
Okay.
That's
That is
better.
25.
As these boars come charging down this hill, you brace yourself for impact. Raazu sidesteps the one coming at her. Adrex, you got 2 of them coming down, and one of them slams into you with its tux. It's wearing a tuxedo. It's dressed to kill.
Dapper.
Gores you with his tusks. But you manage to stay on your feet. He does not knock your ass to the ground. That's going to bring us to Windy, who
All right,
sees
well-
these two boars charging after her.
I'd like to reduce the tanking burden by keeping these guys engaged. Which is the one that I damaged with an arrow?
This one's got a couple of arrows in him. One from you and presumably one from the centaur.
Alright, I'm going to hit it with a punch, keeping my longsword out for fending off the other boar.
Okay.
That's a 18
That'll hit.
for... Nope, that's a too high number. Dead. That's 8 bludgeoning damage, trying to knock him unconscious.
Okay. And you've almost got him there, but not quite. We'll
All right,
test.
then I'm going to, I think, flurry of blows rather than key point dodge.
Okay.
Oh.
It's a heartbreaker. That's that one's not going to hit, and a 17. No, a 19.
19
For 5 bludgeoning damage. Again, trying to knock unconscious.
Okay, we're knocking him. You ring his bell. You put him on the ground. He's not moving, but he is still breathing.
Nice.
Moving or staying put?
I'm staying put.
Raazu.
Raazu is going to sidestep closer to Adrex and halberd that the one that tried to gore her.
Okay.
10 isn't going to do it, I'm assuming.
10 does not do it.
Let's see. Is Birdie within 30 feet of me? Looks like he's right on the edge. Nah, I'm going to hold off on you. My feature for that.
Hey, does that bring you to the end of your turn?
Yep, that's
All right.
it.
Birdie, what you got?
You got choices.
Well, let's see. I'll just attack this one, this bottom one.
Okay.
Let's see. I don't roll at disadvantage because. So that is 7 plus 6. So 13.
That hits.
Okay, and.
Oh, I should have used.
Where's. Oh, there's not enough d6. Now
There,
there's-
there are always enough d6s.
So that is 17 damage.
Okay. Good old calc.exe will help me on this one. Are you moving or staying put?
I'm staying far away from the boars. Thank you.
Okay, as you put an arrow right in that one's butt. It's going to bring us to Mr. Adrex.
Which one did Birdie just hit?
This one down
This
here
one.
next to Raazu.
Of course he did. Fine. These two boars need to make me a Constitution saving throw, please. A DC of
I got a 4 and a 7. How'd I do?
14. No, not even close.
Okay.
Ice him down.
Alright.
Ice
I
him
want
down,
you-
my boy.
I want you to know that I shot this one because I believe in you, Adric.
My big, strong, cold boy.
You're the big dragon of the group. I believe in you.
Thanks, guys. But they take 8 cold. They both take 8 cold damage.
Okay. You ice them down. And they do. They both look very, very cold. Moving or staying put?
I'm gonna stay put.
You just jumping up and down?
Mm-hmm.
All right, Red, you're up.
All right, let's go ahead and move to there. Take a shot at this one.
Okay.
That'll hit an 11 on armor class.
11 does not do it.
And then I'll give Raazu a bonus to her next attack against this boar.
Thank you.
Windy, you're not dodging, correct?
I am not dodging.
Okay, would you like to take an attack of opportunity as he leaves your threat range?
I would love to take an attack of opportunity with this longsword as he leaves my threat range. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. That's not gonna do it though.
Okay.
Sorry guys, at least I think I got him far enough from you that he
And he circles around and comes back in for the charge.
Oh no. Never mind, no apologies to you guys.
I have an 18 to hit you.
It's a good thing I attacked with my offhand. That doesn't hit.
Doesn't hit. You manage to leap out of the way. You think this thing's about to charge back at your companions, but instead it comes back around, tries to gore you. You just definitely manage to leap into the air just in time, and he just ruffles your feathers a little bit.
I don't know, Brick Road. Judging from the rules in Kensei, I'm pretty sure I just parried this boar's tusks with my longsword, which is badass.
All right, I'm going to mute Nodal. Raazu, you will now have the opportunity to take use your reaction to take an attack of opportunity.
Absolutely, we'll do that.
Is that the one that you have advantage on?
Yep.
Yeah, actually, but does a 15 hit?
15.
Do I have to use? Do I have to use the bonus hit?
Yeah, you do. It's the next
Okay.
attack.
Oh, okay then. Well, all right. I didn't need it, but thank you anyway. So let's see here. Please to enjoy 6 points of damage, and also it's not moving. Sorry,
You sentineled him.
I sentineled the crap out of it.
So yeah, he does turn to move away from you in order to come back in for the charge, but instead you just slap him down in place. I'll just have him do a regular tusk attack against you then. How about a 13?
Nope.
Nope. Adrex.
Sir.
Both of these men are about to do the same exact thing. You have one reaction you can use.
I do, don't I?
You do.
Yeah, because it's my breath weapon. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I'm a stab one.
Okay. Which one?
They're both equally damaged, right? Yeah.
Not really, because this one had damage coming into the fight.
All right, then yeah, that one.
Okay.
$22.
22 will hit.
It's 8 damage.
Okay. Looks like that one is now bloody, but you don't have a way to nail them in place. They both get their full movement.
No, because that was a reaction.
Okay, and they do the same thing that you just saw happen to Windy. They both kind of circle around, get a 20-foot line, come back at you from this direction. I have, sir.
This is fine.
This is fine.
This is fine.
I have a 10
This.
and a 7.
This.
This is very
You
fine.
just gird yourself down with your swords, and you manage to withstand the charge of both of them and keep out of the way of their tusks. Windy, this guy just tried to gore you. What are you going to do about it?
I think I'm going to go after him. Let's just let's keep doings in the fists. Only this time, I'm going to kind of put myself in between my allies and him,
Okay.
and just as I flip over his back, rain down a couple of punches and a kick on him.
So we're doing like a flurry of blows situation?
Yes,
Okay.
that's going to be 3 hits.
Okay, go ahead and give me
21 is the lowest.
the grand damage. This one has not been damaged yet.
That's 22.
Okay, and he's gone from not having sustained any damage to being bloodied as you scrape up and bruise his back and his mane and the top of his head, flipping over him on the other side. Moving from there or staying put?
I'm good here.
Raazu, what about your friend up here?
Raazu is going to go keep swiping at that boar.
Okay.
Boar boy. 12 isn't going to do it probably.
12 hits.
Oh, it does? Excellent.
They do.
We found out their AC.
It's just a boar.
They all have different ACs.
That boar over there is wearing plate mail.
It's actually 12. It's actually 12.7. I'm just feeling generous right now.
I got you.
AC of boar.
AC of boar. Let's see. So that is going to be 10 points of damage to this boar boy.
10 points.
Yeah.
Okay, are you moving or staying put?
I am staying put.
As you cleave the shank off this boar here, it's going to bring us to Birdie.
I'm going to shoot this boar on the right of Adrex.
Okay, the one that's bloodied.
Yes.
Okay.
It's this one, right?
Yep.
Okay. Right, and that does not hit.
Nah, arrow goes wide. Moving or staying put?
Staying put.
Adrex, what you got?
All right, let's attack the bloodied boar.
Okay.
In fact, I'm going to take my sword and bore it into its skull.
Ooh.
Ah! Ah!
That wasn't,
I liked it.
I was waiting for that one.
that wasn't really a Dwyer kind of joke.
That was a mahogany kind of joke.
Yeah.
I would be okay
It's
if
thumb on its back. Like, what do you want? What do you want from me? It's 22 to hit.
That'll hit.
Unlike that joke.
10 damage.
10 damage. Okay. And then are you moving or staying put?
I'm gonna follow up.
All right. let's
Use
see.
my bonus action to stab it again.
Can you be the guy right now?
12.
Oh, there you go.
12 hits.
Nice work.
8 damage.
8 damage. He is dead.
Yay!
As you bore a hole into its skull
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
with your swords. Get it? Because it's
Wasn't it wasn't funny the first time.
it was. I made it way funnier. Come on.
What? Wasn't funny the first time.
You're stepping over there.
That's movement.
All right.
Yeah.
Red, what's good?
Move to here, draw my rapier, and attack this one.
Okay.
That'll hit an armor class of 15.
15 is good.
For 14 damage.
14, and he is now dead. Use your rapier to bore a hole, right?
Funnier every time you say it. That's how good
And
it
as
is.
a bonus action, I'll give Raazu advantage against her next attack on that board.
Okay.
Banky.
Raazu, this boar here sees that it cannot get away from you, so this is going to stand here and tusk you.
I bet.
I got a 21
That hits.
for maximum damage. 15 points slashing damage from this thing's tusks.
Ooh.
And you're expecting it to turn away again, so you go back to ready yourself with your halberd, leaving yourself open for the attack coming sooner than you expected. Windy, my man back here has learned no such lessons, so if you've got a reaction.
I've got this awesome longsword.
Are you using the orc longsword?
Yes.
Okay.
That's going to be a nice 25 to hit.
25 will hit.
Oh wait, no. I get to use a nice green die. 12 slashing damage.
12 slashing damage. This thing is now on its last legs as well. I've got a 19 to hit Windy.
Nope.
Nope.
Wow.
Big old bucket of it.
That's going to bring us to Windy's turn.
All right, and I'm going to attempt to finish off this boar this round, which means I'm going to use my longsword to hit first time.
Okay.
For 16 to hit.
16 will hit.
For 6 slashing. And then finish off with a kick to its dome. Oh, unless it's dead.
Nope, 6 wasn't enough.
Yeah, I didn't think so. 20 to hit for another 6 slashing.
That dice like it didn't come to a rest. It was just done rolling.
Yeah, it was just over. It's like, no, 2.
No, you go ahead and you use your talons to bore a hole.
Yeah. Yeah. Except they're talons, so they got lots of nails. So it bores a hole, right?
And you were killing this one, right? That wasn't non.
Yeah, no, I only need one.
Only need one.
Windy is practical.
Moving or staying put?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay, it's gonna bring us to Raazu.
I think Birdie's on strike.
Raazu going to halberd the boar in the face.
I don't get
No,
it.
see, now you ruined it.
I don't get
I
it.
know exactly. That was my intention. Okay, that's 12 to hit.
Can you ruin something that was never good?
12 does hit.
Okay. All right.
That's your philosophical question for the day.
That's 12 damage right there.
12 damage.
Mm-hmm.
This one is now bloodied as you bacon the side of this.
That doesn't even make
You really? Okay, let me fix that for you. As you shank the side of this
You
boar.
can't shank someone with a halberd. Rossi,
Sure
you
you
moving or
can.
staying put?
I'm staying put.
Okay.
But you can bacon someone? Like, come on now.
Birdie,
Shank
please,
was a clever
please-
wordplay.
Please
Shank
put this,
was
bad,
pretty
this
clever.
combat out of its misery. We've had enough. We've had enough.
Okay,
Don't quit.
Everybody's
Nodal, did you really just do that?
Uh-oh.
I'm here.
What?
Somebody just quit when you said that.
Everybody just disconnected. It's another.
Yeah.
There's a net split.
I'm the
That's
only
good.
one that didn't disconnect.
That's
Again.
what came
Oh,
along
there we
and-
go. There we go.
No,
I'm here. Don't worry.
that was good timing for me to. No,
I'm here.
It booted me. It booted
Yeah, me and McDohl are still here. I believe.
Somebody can roll for Birdie then.
Birdie, what do you wanna do?
Attack the thing plus 6.
16.
16 to
will
hit.
hit.
What do you got? D6s?
3d6s. Yeah, you can do the damage. Go for it.
3d6 plus 4.
15.
And that's enough to kill this last boar.
So you're not even trying anymore.
Were any of us ever really trying?
Any
Yeah.
more?
I'm bored. I am bored.
Wendy,
With you.
Yeah.
either an animal handling or a nature check if you want to find out something wrong with this boar.
Animal handling. Can't believe I took this skill twice. No,
If you
absolutely not. I'm blipping
Do
it.
you-
Not after all this.
I was about to say, do you want can Birdie like assist him?
Oh yeah, if you want to assist me and make me not spend these blips.
Yeah.
If you're trained in either animal handling or nature, you can assist.
Yes, I am.
All right, then that's a 17.
Okay. The first thing that strikes you is odd. I mean, these kind of animals are known to be strong, especially the giant variants that you were fighting. They're as big as a small horse, very dangerous, and they are carnivorous. They will use their powerful tusks to gore quarry. What struck you as odd at first is just how viciously they were attacking.
Yeah.
That they were leaving their stable meal to chase you down rather than just finish their food. And as you kind of checking over this one that's alive, having rung his bell, when you move open his eyelid, you see that the eyes are just bloodshot. You see it's foaming up around its mouth, and you see the wounds that it's been dealt aren't seeping blood like you'd expect, but rather kind of congealing along the surface. It's warm to the touch. It's definitely not undead, but these boars have been magicked somehow.
I'm gonna call over. Well, Birdie's already here, but I'm also gonna call over Red, because I figure Red might have some experience in possible magical poisons.
Okay. Red, make an intelligence poisoner's kit check.
Red, you're muted.
All right, so I'll harvest some boar port. That's a
What was it?
14.
A 14? If these boars were poisoned, they weren't poisoned by any substance that you have knowledge of.
Okay.
Well, can Birdie make an Arcana check to see if he can figure out what's going on? Probably.
you don't really know enough about magic to diagnose it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and make a check, but do so at disadvantage, because you don't have any leads and nothing to go on.
Oh, that's a big old nope.
Yeah.
You can at least take down some detailed notes on this. Maybe it'll be useful later.
He goes full Maximilian Roivus on this boar.
Yeah.
Hey, Brett.
Yeah.
Can I retrieve half of the centaur's arrows?
Sure. In fact, by the time if you want travel north and find the dead centaur, he died with 6 more arrows in his quiver.
Okay. And how many were on the boars?
I'll give you a total of... Let's roll a d4 here.
You can have mine.
Total of 8. There were 2 that you were able to recover from the boar. These are nice centaur arrows. Really classy. But there's not much left of this centaur. I mean, he was gored fairly badly, and they were most of the way through eating him. And again, you're not sure who started this hunt, but if the centaur started it, he lived to regret it.
So it was
Think maybe he
14
was by
total
himself?
arrows?
There were 6 in the quiver, and I rolled a 2, so you were able to recover 2 from the
Okay.
actual boars.
So
8
8.
total.
I'm only down 5, so anyone want the last 3?
I'll fill my quiver up. Alright, thanks.
And outside from that, the rest of your journey back to Shallow Scale Lake was uneventful. What time of day do you intend to arrive at the lake? Or just
I don't think...
as early as possible?
Yeah, we don't intend on making a dramatic nighttime entrance, do we, guys?
Not really, no.
I think we're kind of just heading in that direction.
There are so many dice on this table. Crazy.
I clean it up, and then they just mess it up.
Yeah, that's been my life. I should ask Wendy, what do you do with this final unconscious boar before you leave the scene of the crime?
I mean, it's in pain and not bleeding. I just kill it.
Okay. Just
Slaughter it, yeah.
And as you guys enter into the woods surrounding Shallow Scale Lake, eventually some of the lizard scouts do find you, and they escort you back to the edge of the lake. They load you up into the boats. The lizard men that are with you just wade out and swim into the water. And you're brought back to the little lizard man village that we have not seen in several weeks now. Welcome back.
What?
Was
It's only
half,
been 10
expect-
days, Brickroad.
I half expected it to be on fire when we got back.
It would be very difficult to burn this village, considering it's built on a lake.
Well, somebody would find a way.
Where's
Well,
our chits at?
An ancient
Birdie and
red
I could
dragon
do
could do it.
Oh, they're there.
Thedekes is ready to greet you as you come back into the village. And it's been... You would arrive on the 9th day. You guys made pretty good time back. I only rolled a mid-level random encounter for you, so you were not stalled at all. Thedekes tells you that Huyan expects him to report you in as soon as you arrive. And he asks that you come along with him.
Quite alright.
Yeah, right.
He doesn't take you back to Huyan's hut, as expected. Instead, he sends a runner, one of the other lizard men, to inform her of your arrival. He takes you out to a corner of the camp, up over in this area, next to the outside palisade, where you see a couple of the lizard men perched up in the trees with bows and arrows. And a boat with a large sheet is sitting here. One of their canoes, like you came in, covering some mass in the center. After a few moments, Huyan arrives. She tells you, or she asks rather, what went wrong with your meeting with the butchers? You freeze her out. Silence all the way around.
I was expecting Red to say something.
Yeah.
Expecting
I kind of
Raazu
like
to
the
say
awkward
something.
silence, though.
So the five of you kind of exchange.
We
awkward
kind of
glances.
we kind of shuffle a bit.
Yeah.
She motions. Adrex is standing closest to the boat. She motions for Adrex to pull aside the covering.
Adrex obliges. What's
And-
underneath the covering?
A grisly sight meets your eyes. Two lizard men, dead and very badly, but creatively mutilated. One of them sitting on this end of the boat. Parts of his back have been flayed away, and the scales have been drawn out and held into place with sharp sticks, made to look like a bird's wings. The other one, you see where his torso's been opened, and many of the bones have been broken out and reformed on his face to make it look like a hobgoblin's tusks and horns. And Thedekis turns to Adrex as he attempts to not lose his lunch at the sight. She says these were two of our outrider scouts. And she points to the boat. Says this is the boat that was filled with our tribute that you left with 10 days ago. So I ask again, what went wrong with the butchers?
Adrex replaces the cover.
Okay. He gingerly covers up these two moldering lizard men.
Oh, I'm not looking at that.
The butchers. They were not. They didn't seem amenable to any kind of long-term parlay.
And Huyan corrects you. Says they were absolutely amenable to their arrangement until she sent you all to solidify it. These are the first lizard men they've seen felled by orcish weaponry since the arrangement was placed.
I mean, you don't really want to be allies with orcs, do you?
She said the arrangement was not meant as an alliance. The arrangement was meant to preserve scale folk lives.
Judging by how quickly the orcs turned on us and then you, it seems like they would have just allied with the people coming across with your father's soldiers
Make a deception
rather
check.
than you.
Charisma deception.
This is why I wasn't talking. Thanks, Red. It's an 11.
11. Huyan muscles her way towards the boat, past Adrex, and she throws the covering off again.
Ugh.
She says, given the state that my scale folk were left in, she points at Windy, and then points at Raazu. She says, I'm given every indication that they crossed your paths. She doesn't believe that the orcs turned on you.
Mm-hmm.
She asks what the orcs bought from you with your treachery.
We've slain 2 of their leaders, so at least your 2 slain soldiers know that for each of them, one of their top commanders was killed.
I mean, we killed a lot of orcs.
Huyan nods, says that's precisely the problem. Now the orcs believe that the lizard folk are hostile against them. And there will be many more dead scale folk in the future.
Birdie pipes up, but we did find out who was stringing the orcs up.
Have you brought me his head?
Birdie shakes his head no.
then there's little that information can do to help me.
Not necessarily, because you have something he potentially wants.
Huyan looks over the group, and it's particularly Birdie.
Huh.
Birdie just cowers. He does not like being looked at by the half-dragon.
He shrinks back behind Raazu's girth.
It's a class feature that says he's really good at it.
Huyan asks you why one moment you would lend assistance to her scale folk, and the next would betray them so thoroughly. What
it wasn't
drives
betrayal.
You're gonna have to explain that one to her. She sent you out to do a job, and instead of doing it, you killed a bunch of orcs. Let's put it this way: you were supposed to kill 0 orcs. Instead, you killed probably
All the orcs.
every orc.
Okay,
in
to
a
be
5
clear here,
countries.
we were able to kill a few orcs before the orcs were even mad at us. Raazu fucked up those orcs pretty badly.
So you're gonna have to explain to her why it's not a betrayal.
Have you heard of the Mokden?
She says that she has.
They were torturing and keeping two prisoner, and we saw it within ourselves to maybe free prisoners while slaying the entire orc camp.
She looks back at the boat. She says, "The price for 2 of your pigmen were 2 of my scale folk. You consider that even?"
If they're willing to aggress on one group on their own land, then they'd be willing to move on you next. They'll take your offering as long as they think that you'll give it to them, but once they think that they can get more by taking out the village, they'll move on you.
She tells you that there's very little chance of them accepting an offering anymore. She has no doubt in her mind that the orcs will from now on move into the land, murder the lizard folk, and take from their woods what they want. Indeed, this was the exact situation she was hoping to prevent by sending you all to parley. At this point, you see more lizard folk up on the walls with their arrows, and this time they're not looking outward at the woods.
Yeah.
And you find yourselves in a precarious position. And on top of this, now that she's at war with the orcs, Huyan points out that her position to defend her scale folk from aggression from the west, from her father, is now considerably weakened.
We managed at least to notify the person who has been stringing up orcs of the threat from the west.
Would that you thought to bring me his head. I would have something to negotiate with the butchers with.
How would you prove that it was him? They don't even know what it looks like.
Then how do you know it was him?
We saw him do it.
So what all do you tell her about what you've been up to the past 10 days? And who does the telling? Because there may be social checks involved here.
So after all of this, Red will speak up. Ultimately, the orcs are cruel slavers and would never have held a pact with you long enough. As soon as it was against their interests, if your father came through and they saw they could more easily ally with him and plunder, they would have turned on you. So Red will tell her that in addition to rescuing the Mokden, they have tentatively been working towards getting the Mokden to ally with her, and we'll tell her about the Tabashi, that he controls dark magics and used these against the second orc captain who was killed, and that he will also be... He showed interest in also assaulting any groups of dragons, including the kobolds that he had already killed, heading from the mountains, but he's not necessarily reliable or trustworthy. He's just there
Raazu.
and an enemy of his enemies.
She says that guests to this region in the recent past have had a problem with being trustworthy, it seems. What was Raazu saying?
When Red mentions the other orc captain that the half orc, Raazu will present the great axe that she took from him.
She nods to Thedekes, and Thedekes steps forward and takes it. And so for the life of two of my scouts and the dissolution of hostilities between the orcs, you have brought me this axe.
Birdie pipes up and he looks at everybody else and he fishes the stone out of his hand. He looks around like the thing, like he looks around for permission. He's like, do we kind of asking with his eyes, do we offer this?
So when you pull the stone out of your pack, are you just holding it in your hand for everybody to see?
Yes.
A couple of bows go taut when you go reaching into your pack suddenly. When you fish out this stone, you see immediate recognition on Huyan's face. And her eyes narrow at you. She asks what you have there, little one.
And, like, Birdie is terrified here, so you're going to have to... He's like, it's a rock that does a spell.
She nods at Thedekes again, and Thedekes steps forth to take the stone from you. Do you resist him?
No. He does not.
He picks
Like I
up
said,
the stone,
Birdie is terrified.
brings it back to Huyan. Huyan takes the stone and looks it over, one side then the other. Then she asks Birdie what it does.
He tells her it's, I'd have to look here. I think it's Dominate Person.
It is.
Yep.
Very powerful magic.
Like,
Then
Birdie's
she
like,
looks- Go ahead.
I thought we could bring it back and you could use it to help defend your village.
She then turns and looks back to Windy.
Uh-huh.
She asks Windy what good to her, what good to the scale folk are the pigmen. Of what use can they be made?
And Windy will reply that they have some sort of alliance with a local powerful fae that could provide her with some knowledge that she might be willing to use. But in addition, there have been begun in the starts of training up the village, and a allied group of soldiers is more reliable for her than a maybe they won't kill us group of orcs nearby.
She says that Raazu has made a gift to her of the fallen orc captain's weapon. She asks you if you intend to keep yours.
I tell her I'm willing to kill some more orcs with it for her.
She says she's going to take a night and think everything over. And she'll decide in the morning whether to let a lot of you leave this forest alive. Two of the scale folks step forward, throw the covering back over the boat. She leaves, leaving you guys alone with Thedekes here.
Can I get her attention before she leaves once?
Sure.
I would point out that if you are at war with the orcs, you have struck first and you have killed two of their most powerful captains in the region. Now might be a good place to negotiate from a point of strength, rather than, making meager offerings.
She says she'll take that under advisement. But, what's your passive insight?
15 or 17? Let me look. So many tabs.
Yeah, I have this in a tab, but I forget which one.
Me too.
I always make my character.
I just can't find it. I should put it on its own window. 17.
Okay. She says that she'll take that under advisement, but you can tell that she's not convinced that they can negotiate from a position of strength. She herself is probably a very capable fighter, but she's only one person against an entire orc horde. And then she leaves you with Thedekes. Thedekes doesn't let the group of you split up at this point, and he kind of babysits wherever you go in the village. And it's hard to read a lizard man, but if they had emotions, you could tell he's very disappointed in what has transpired. Does anybody try to get away with anything in the village tonight?
No.
Okay. What is your next move, provided Huyan lets you leave in the morning?
I have something I want to do in the village overnight.
Okay.
I'm going to once again use the universal language of cookery
Mm-hmm.
to introduce these lizard men to smokehouse meats. As an example of the kinds of things that they could get from dealing with the pigmen.
And when you give some of these meats away, I mean, the lizard men accept it, but not graciously or gratefully. It's just you're sharing what food you have. That's just part of their culture. The few that understand what's going on with the orcs, this is not enough to make amends with them. But into these dealings, you learn that so far, Huyan has not... It's not common knowledge throughout the camp that the arrangement with the butchers is shot.
Yeah.
Does anybody try to do anything with Thedekes over the night? Like conversationally. I don't mean like draw dicks on his face.
Falls asleep with his lizard man shoes on.
Well, let me ask this.
Yeah.
If Adrex wants to meet with Huyan, that's next to a 0 possibility?
Do you inquire about it?
Yeah.
If you ask Thedekes, he tells you that Huyan's decision will be rendered in the morning. You can speak with her then. If you want to try to speak with her tonight, you'll have to sneak away from Thedekes and get up into her hut.
No, that'll probably get Adrex killed, and don't want to do that just yet.
Not yet.
So,
Wait till you get that breath weapon leveled up.
yeah.
In the morning, Thedekes is relieved by several of the other soldiers, keeping watch on you for the second half of the night. Wendy shares some of her meat, and in the morning, Huyan comes down to meet with you all. She tells you that the lives of the 2 pigmen that you saved are worth nothing to her. And she tells you that the denizens of the village of Asera Fall, being so far away, so far removed from the scale folks live here in the lake. Everybody's dropping again. Where are y'all going? I know you don't like Julian, but my goodness.
Can't kill me if I'm not there.
She says that she says that there's nothing that's produced in the village that they can make use of. She's not convinced that there's any merit to an alliance between these 2 places. She says that she's inclined to let you leave this place. She does not believe that you wish the scale folk any malice. Nonetheless, you have caused them a great loss. And she tells you that if you are to be welcomed in Shadowscale Lake at any point in the future, the best thing you could do would be set yourselves to bleeding her father's forces when the march comes from the west.
I think we were going to do that anyway.
Adrex, now's the time.
Yeah. Adrix lets out a growl, very unhappy with the situation.
Okay.
And he says, this is what it looks like from my perspective, all right? Got your little village here. Y'all hate the orcs. Y'all hate your father, right? Y'all hate the orcs. And you've got a Seraphel, another small little village. They also hate the orcs. And they also try to protect themselves from the orcs. And then you've got the Tabashi, who also hate the orcs. All individually, all three of you not working together, all three of you risk being wiped out and fell by the orcs, right? But when the three little of you work together, you combine your strength, combine your forces, all of a sudden you're not so little anymore. All of a sudden you mean something, and all of a sudden you can stand up to the orcs. Why you don't want to do that, I don't understand. The power of a collective unit is so much more than three separate, disparate individual forces. You all have a common goal. You all have a common need. Why don't you work together for it?
She tells you that as a example of this commonality that you're speaking of, that she's not convinced exists, you've brought her an axe taken off of a dead orc and a magic stone. She asks which of these things were given to you by the pigmen.
I'll cast message here. Say the stone. It's close enough.
You're right.
Yeah, the stone.
Actually, it was. Because remember the
It was
River
the
Leaper.
Goliath who gave it.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, Riverleaper had hid it out there because he didn't want to keep it in the village.
Yeah. Sure.
But he's still a resident. He's still a resident of a Seraphal.
So you
Yeah.
tell him
Still a
that
gift.
the pigmen gave you the stone?
Yeah. It came from a Seraphal.